TAGteach is a teaching technique which, with a particular sound called tag, this one, highlights learners' success. TAGteach focuses on the behaviors we want to be learned and not the other way around. To be able to fully exploit the potential of TAGteach for teaching, we must first learn to look at things from a different point of view. How we can achieve that? Hi, my name is Luca Canever from TAGteach Italia, and I'm also a TAGteach International faculty member. TAGteach is a new revolutionary teaching technique, and today I'm talking about how to change our point of view. And we can start with observing this drawing. This drawing is about a smiling gentleman, maybe a Scotsman, judging by the cap. But can you see the dog? Look closely. There is also a dog chewing on her bone. Do you not see the dog? Okay, so let's try to change perspective by rotating the picture of 180 degrees. And now, can you see the dog? In order to be able to see the dog, we had to change perspective and rotate the picture upside down. This is actually the same change of perspective that we must do when we decide to use TAGteach. Now, let's try to observe Thomas from another point of view. Thomas is a boy, let's say about 9-10 years old, who never sits quietly in his class. And there is nothing we can do. Thomas gets up from his chair, walks around the classroom, disrupts the lessons. Thomas is the classical serial disturber. But are we sure that Thomas never stays still? Really never? Or we can make a change of perspective with Thomas as well and flip upside down the picture to be able to see those few moments when Thomas is incredibly seated at his desk following the lesson, because it will also happen, perhaps even by chance, that Thomas sits down every now and then, right? So, if we start to observe Thomas when he does something that we want, even if only for a split of a second, something that can be a success both for him and for the people around him, we will see that there are behaviors that we can reinforce using TAGteach techniques and tools. First of all, of course, the tagger. From its new perspective, TAGteach calls these behaviors tag points. They are behaviors that Thomas can perform, that are observable and can be reinforced by the sound of the tagger. Here, therefore, there is our change of perspective. Just saying Thomas the tag point is sit on chair and tagging this specific behavior gives Thomas something to do and to his teacher something to reinforce. Thomas don't stand up every time, doesn't tell anything at all to the boy. Would it be better if Thomas lay down on the floor or climbed up a wall? Those two are not standing, actually. All the behaviors that we observe always go in pairs. On one hand, there are the behaviors that we want. On the other hand, there are the nightmare behaviors, like those that Thomas shows in class. Behaviors so always works in pairs. One opposes the other, exactly like the Scottish gentleman with his dog. Choosing the new point of view is teacher choice and responsibility. In order to observe and reinforce what we want, all we need to do is to flip the picture upside down. Thomas can stand and do the hell knows what, or he can do the opposite and sit at his desk quietly. Which of the two behaviors will be reinforced depends on the environment surrounding the boy. If we keep nagging at Thomas because he gets up, we are probably reinforcing this behavior. We just need to change perspective and reinforces the sit on chair, even if it happens for just a few seconds. In this way, the behavior that we want will become stronger and stronger, and consequently getting up less and less frequent. Obviously, it is impossible to stand and sit at the same time, even for Thomas. Now, let's see another example of how changing perspective can improve everyone's learning. We will talk about Ellie. Ellie is learning to write digits and she is struggling with some of them because she hasn't quite understood from where to start writing the digit and what direction to take. So we can use the usual perspective and tell to Ellie to write the numbers correctly as we show them, or not in the wrong way. Or we make the change of perspective that TAGteach suggests and support Ellie with some tag points to learn what behaviors to do in order to be able to write the digits successfully. For example, the digits 3, 5, and 7 are all written starting from the top left corner of the square, this one. This specific behavior, starting the digit from the top left corner of the square, is something that we want, that is observable and that Ellie can do. For sure, it is far more precise than write the 7 correctly. This is an instruction that can easily become a tag point. Start from the top left, here. Starting to write the digit from the top left corner is a specific behavior that can easily become a tag point for Ellie. The tag point is start at the top left. We can also use targeting to help our Ellie by placing a few red dots on the corners of the squares. The tag point becomes, in this case, start from red. The tag point is start from red. Whatever we are talking about Thomas or Ellie, we are talking about writing, reading, learning some sport, or more simply, sitting in the chair during class time. A change of perspective is always possible. We just have to observe and understand what behaviors we want to be learned and change our instructions accordingly. I have 2 tips for you. The first one, just use only positive expression to photograph, take a picture of what we want. Thomas seated is our picture. Thomas don't get up is not part of the change of perspective. We cannot see Thomas not doing something. Second, let's ask to ourselves if the information that we are giving can be done, performed by a stone. If a stone is able to do that, then it is not a behavior and therefore cannot be taught. A stone may not get up and therefore I cannot teach Thomas to not get up. That's not a behavior. On the contrary, a stone is not able to sit because this is a specific behavior that only Thomas can learn. And what about you? Do you ever made a change of perspective? If so, let us know in the comments, and if you like the video, just give us the thumb up. And for further information and to learn more about TAGteach, visit our websites. Links are in the descriptions. And always remember our key questions. Can a stone do that?